Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Ben from JBM Sports Media coming at you guys with an NBA video here today. And we got to talk about the NBA's probably biggest issue this season. And we're going to be talking about tanking because obviously this has been a big focal point on NBA Twitter, or should I say X. Obviously, people going back and forth with what's going on in the league right now when it comes to the tanking thing. Specifically, the NBA has had a lot of issues this year. They've had some good moments, but mainly not the best. And I'm going to go into the tanking thing because I think that's obviously a thing that needs to get talked about ASAP. And there was a report that came out All-Star Weekend that I'll pull up right here. Adam Silver says that he would consider ending the NBA draft and making rookies free agents if that's what it took to stop tanking. Man, I think, bro, I mean, first and foremost, that idea, let alone, would not be bright at all. To think that rookies could just sign to any team they want as free agents, meaning they could possibly go if they want to go to the Spurs, the Thunder, these top contenders, and then teams like the Wizards, the Jazz, potentially even the Grizzlies, they won't get a chance to get one of these potential generational type players. That is absolutely a brutal idea. I think that should. The fact that he said that is a little bit mind boggling because I think he was actually super serious about it because he knows how bad the issue has gotten to this day. So throwing out an idea like that, I get the creative flow flowing, but I think it's just a really bad idea to do something like that. I don't know what the proper direction to go. Maybe you guys do. Leave it in the comments if you guys kind of have an idea of what the NBA should do regarding this whole tanking situation because it's gotten really bad, and we'll get into it right now in a little bit. But I think if you let rookies be free agents, that would be horrible for a multitude of reasons. And kind of just going back to it real quick, I do believe if you end the NBA draft entirely, it puts franchises, more so smaller markets like my Bucks, like the Wizards, potentially like the Grizzlies as well, the Pelicans, in very tough situations where if they can't build a good team through the draft, then look, they're not going to be attractive destinations for free agency spots. And that's just the damn truth. It really is the damn truth. I don't know. I don't know. I think this idea by Adam Silver obviously is not a good one. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you think? Do you think this idea by Adam Silver is a W, or do you think it's an L? Me personally, I think it's a huge L because I think it would be a disadvantage. But I do understand at some point he got to throw everything out at the table because this situation has become bad. And look, yesterday as I was on my run, I did 10 miles yesterday. I got the news basically that Domantas Sabonis and Zach LaVine are both undergoing season-ending surgery, which is absolutely brutal because obviously it only adds more to the fire of the tanking situation. Obviously, we saw Jaren Jackson with the Utah Jazz go out, he underwent season-ending knee surgery, I believe it was, so he's out. It only adds more fuel to the fire. The Jazz and the Pacers have already been fined for sitting players out. And if you have Sabonis, obviously he's been having the knee issue all throughout the year, but Zach LaVine, going through his surgery, at some point, in a way, just kind of becomes blatant, like what's going on. And look, I don't think that these players would just get the surgery and call it what it is because I do believe a level to their injuries. How can I not, right? They know what they feel. And if they feel like that's the right way to go, then obviously they're going to do what they have to do to protect their body and go into next season fully healthy. But for the Kings, who have nothing to play for, and obviously I'll pull up the Tankathon right here because the Kings right now are projected to have the number one overall pick. They are 12-44. And then we have Washington, we have New Orleans, Indiana, and that New Orleans pick goes to Atlanta, which would be absolutely horrible for them. But they made that horrible trade last year. So guess what? Or last offseason. So guess what? What goes around comes around at the end of the day. But if we could go through these teams more so, I'll pull up the Eastern Conference real quick. The Wizards, Pacers, Nets. You're going to start seeing the Wizards more so. Obviously, you already seen it. AD not coming back this year. Trae Young, he has an aquatic contusion. In my opinion, allegedly, I don't know if it's as bad as they seem, but I know that if he felt like playing in March, he probably could play in March. The Pacers, you already started seeing they're sitting out some of their players. And I think throughout March, they're only going to sit out more players, whether it's Siakam, whether it's Nembhard, whether it's Zubac. I mean, they're only going to sit them out more. The Nets, I honestly do feel like the Nets have been a little bit more fun and a little bit more competitive with their rookies like Ego Demon, Danny Wolf. Obviously, MPJ's been doing his thing. But I think towards like the middle of March, you're going to start seeing the pattern as well for the Nets. They're going to start sitting out some of these guys to try to get in better draft position, which just kind of sucks, to be honest. We know what's going on. And then when it comes to the Western Conference, this is where it's a little bit more loaded. The Kings already don't have Sabonis for the rest of the year, LaVine for the rest of the year. I seen DeAndre Hunter obviously been dealing with the eye issue. I think he's going to miss more games down the stretch. You guys already seen it. They've been taking Debo out of clutch time minutes. And that let alone is a little bit fishy, bro. It's a little bit fishy. Like, this tanking shit has gotten bad. Super, super, super effing bad. And it needs to be fixed immediately. I don't know how to fix it. Adam Silver has become, or I wouldn't say has become, but I always saw him as a pretty good commissioner. Recently, I haven't been the biggest fan of Adam Silver's, I guess you could call it commissionership. I haven't really been the biggest fan of it. I know, he's been put in some tough situations, obviously, with the whole gambling aspect. But geez, bro, I don't know how he's going to fix this tanking stuff. I really don't know. Like the Pelicans, even the Pelicans, you wouldn't be surprised if they started sitting Zion throughout the year, or Trey Murphy. The Jazz, obviously, Jaren Jackson underwent his season-ending knee surgery, so that's that. Lauri Markkanen just be getting rest days. They be pulling their starters in the fourth quarter when the game is close and they don't play them. That's why they got the $500K fine. So, look, you can't say as the coach, yeah, I'm pulling these players because this and that, rest this and that. Like, bro, we're not stupid. Like, the casual NBA fans are not stupid. I think even the diehard NBA fans are not stupid. The casual ones aren't stupid. I think no NBA fans, if you watch the product, you know what's exactly going on. And which is a whole nother situation, because I'll bring this up real quick before we talk about the Mavericks. Then it's a whole nother situation with gambling sports books more so, because they see what it's being affected with these players, because now they're not playing the fourth quarter, they're getting pulled throughout the third quarter, and then obviously they're losing money. So do they obviously bring it down to the NBA and it's all like, look, this is what's going on, y'all got to fix this shit? Obviously they do. So that's where it gets very, very complicated. But like I said, we'll get into the Mavericks real quick. They're on a 9-game losing streak. They already announced Kyrie Irving is not going to play a single minute this season. So that's that. Cooper Flag, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said as well, I'm going to keep repeating it. Middle of March, if Cooper Flag somehow, some way starts a little bit getting some rest days here and there, more rest days. Same thing with players like Daniel Gafford. Same thing with players like PJ Washington. I think that goes the same way. The Grizzlies, John Morant, elbow sprain or whatever he has, he might as well wrap it up as well. Zach Edey obviously was suffering his ankle injury. I do love Cedric Howard, but I think they're going to do the same thing for him as well. Man, it's just going to be a constant pattern. And I do want to bring up this point right here by Jay Williams, because I think this is a great point right here. It says the college basketball product is better than the NBA product right now. Each night in college basketball, you are having top 15 matchups, and the best players are actually playing in games and competing every night. And I understand what he means by that. And guess what? I absolutely agree, because then it goes into the load management issue that the NBA is having with load management. And I think that shit sucks, because I'll get into it right now. I think the load management issue is a whole nother thing, because people with, like, obviously the economy nowadays, inflation, they're spending their hard-earned money to go see these players play, and even getting like nosebleed seats and everything like that. And they don't see their best player because of load management. And yes, I'm throwing shots at guys like Kawhi, guys like Embiid, even LeBron to an extent. I do believe that's the shit that sucks, honestly, for diehard NBA fans, or even kids that are just trying to be a fan of the game, like just getting into it. And obviously their parents' hard-earned money, and they can't see their best player because of load management. And obviously now it goes to tanking. Like, what about these teams that are obviously, you could clearly see are tanking? I'll put it up right here. Like the Kings. What if people do want to see DeRozan? What if they did want to see LaVine? What if they did want to see Sabonis? Oh, that's over with now. Washington. Trae Young's with the quad contusion, but he could potentially play in March. Nope, not happening. Can't see him now. Like, Zion sit for a game or two. Can't see him now. Like, or Pascal Siakam, can't see him now. Like, it takes your best player out of there when this tanking shit is going on as well. And it's kind of like a mixture of tanking and load management as well. So it could go both ways, really. Lauri Markkanen as well, MPJ. Bro, I think it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal what's going on. And Adam Silver obviously got to get to the bottom of this. And there's no other way to put it. Going back to this Jay Williams quote right here, I think the college basketball landscape of it and watching how entertaining those games are compared to like the regular season NBA basketball, I think it's a night and day thing, bro. I think college basketball has become a little bit more entertaining throughout the years. And that's just because the NBA product in the regular season has become a little shitty. I'll be honest. I mean, you can see it with the ratings. They haven't been the best. And yes, tanking is a huge, huge issue. And it's a big reason why, obviously, the ratings have gone down as well. I think whichever way you look at it, this is an issue that has to get fixed immediately. I honestly know that Adam Silver is still trying to figure out possible solutions that how this could be addressed in the offseason, but taking away the draft is not the way to go, my guy. I'll say that and I'll stand by that. But I don't know. I really don't know how this is going to work out. I'm really starting to think that this is going to be a long-term issue. I know Mark Cuban made, I guess, a little bit post of saying about how NBA should embrace tanking. I don't agree with that. Do not embrace tanking, bro. Like, I mean, it's brutal because if your favorite team is like the Pelicans, is the Grizzlies, is the not even just the Pelicans again, the Jazz, the Kings, whatever. If that's your favorite team, you're not watching those games in March. You're not watching because you know what you're getting out of the teams. They are ass. They are putrid. You are not watching your favorite team at that point in time because there's no point in watching your team at that point in time. Like, just keeping it a $1.50. So in that matter, you gotta have like a reason to be excited for your team. Even if it's like, I don't know, we're still battling, I don't know, seeing these young prospects that we have, getting some playing time, whatever it may be, you got to have a reason to be excited for your team. And the fact that a lot of these teams that are going through this tanking stage, the same thing with the Bulls, I can see the Bulls start sitting out giddy towards the middle of March, bro, because they want to get a good draft pick. Obviously, and you know, one thing about it this year specifically is how good the draft is with guys like AJ Dembele, Boozer, obviously Darren Peterson, Caleb Wilson. There's big time names right here. And that's why people will understand why teams like the Kings, the Wizards, well, technically the Pelicans, it doesn't matter for them. The Pacers, the Nets, like you understand why teams like that are tanking, bro. And it just sucks. I think it takes away from the game of basketball. It needs to be fixed. It needs to be an immediate solution to this, hopefully in the offseason. But in reality, I don't think we're going to get it that early, so we'll just see how that plays out. But obviously, I want to get your guys' opinions in the comment section. Let me know how you guys believe that the NBA should fix this tanking situation because it's gotten really bad, and we all kind of know that this is not good for the product of basketball at all, the product of the NBA to be exact. So, yeah, let me know in the comment section. As always, make sure to subscribe here to JBM Sports Media on YouTube. Follow us on IG and TikTok at JBM Sports Media. Until the next one, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.